link smell.
Yeah.
Icewind fresh.
Icewind fresh. Nice wind fresh.
Speaking of forced segues, how do we get to this week's episode of Reflex Save?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes.
You fuckers. Do you remember what happened last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoke to a whale.
Yes, a Swedish narwhal.
Swedish novel.
Swedish no.
Hold up in a.
His name was Sven.
Hold up in a.
Lighthouse.
A lighthouse. Yep.
And then the kobolds and the tadpole leader are building a boat on the first floor.
Who's the tadpole leader?
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Daniel Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Ronaldo, yes.
Yeah.
Huffling Ricardo.
And then we went to bed.
And you told them make sure you split it in two, otherwise they. And if you hadn't said that, they would have built a boat and then been stuck.
Ricardo on toast.
Ricardo on toast.
Okay, yeah.
Is his name Jimmy Ricard?
I've forgotten his real name now. I don't understand.
My regards to Broadway. And then we finished on a big segue where Wodun's Spectre Spencer went feral, and now I'm like going toe to toe with him in the fire or something.
Not exactly.
Did he
Okay.
stab you?
No, I just encountered it.
Well, no. Let's. Okay.
It life drained him.
Hey, you
Yes,
asked us.
it did.
It
You
did.
asked us.
Yeah.
It gave me a bloody kiss. What are those things from Harry Potter?
Demented.
Dementor.
It gave me
Yeah.
a demented kiss.
So let's yeah. So you sort of started to lose your way towards the end of the explanation. Yeah. So the spectre, the accursed spectre that Wodun has, did seem to attack Horatio and issue some kind of warning before disappearing out of sight. And Horatio, probably quite upset at the whole situation, looked like he was going to do something to Wodun, but thought better of it in the end. Mm-hmm. As that
Kiss.
kiss, it's
Or
that little,
banish.
little kiss on the cheek.
Kiss or banish, one of the two.
He thought of better of the kiss and used the banish instead. And then turning around to look at the fire, the world greyed out around him, and he found himself looking at a tall figure in grey robes with their back to him, looking at the fire.
Oh yeah. So I was confused about that. So Horatio passed out and saw that.
No, Horatio hasn't passed out.
Where did this figure come from?
That's a good question. You're looking at me like I'm going to tell you.
Let's find out.
Well, I hope you will eventually.
So Horatio's awake, has turned around and can see this figure just looking at the fire.
Yeah, I just because I was standing over Wodun, so I basically just taken like a step away from him, right, and looked over to the fire. My vision's just been like wiped out except for the fire and this figure.
Yeah. It's all greyed out around your periphery, and the fire almost is like overblown exposure. It's not like orange, it's almost white.
Okay. Do I recognize this figure?
Its back's turned to you. You don't see, like, there's obviously a drawn hood. There's not a lot of features to make out from this angle.
Is it visually distinct from Spencer?
It doesn't look like the spectre that assaulted you before. It looks a bit more solid.
Okay, but in terms of like the aura it's giving off, the vibe.
Doesn't feel the same to you, and it is taller. Like it's almost it's bigger than you remember the spectre being.
Okay, but I don't recognize it.
No.
From behind at least. What is the meaning of this? What do you mean, God?
You don't get any response. You're probably about 10 feet away from it, I think.
Listen carefully, I'm only going to say this once. Identify yourself or prepare for banishment. I'll prepare banish spell. And I'll put my hand on my scale necklace, and the same grey energy that started to come out when I stood over Wodun will start to sort of get to the same point again.
Still no response.
Do it. Hit him.
You're asleep.
Hey, Wodun's asleep.
I'm going to cast banish on it.
You cast Banish. Now, is that there's a save for that, potentially?
Yeah, also I'm technically supposed to have something that it finds distasteful.
That's okay. The grey energy that emanates from your hand, you've seen this now at least once, and you felt it before. You feel the spell's effect reach out, stretching out from your body like it did before with Father Augustine. And you can see almost that greyish energy envelop the tall figure in front of you. And you see that energy sort of start to flicker and pulse, and then feels like it just gets drawn into the figure and doesn't go anywhere.
Would I know, or would I be able to notice if the energy that I gave off and that hit it is actually very similar or different to the energy that it's giving off?
Roll a religion or arcana check, and roll with advantage.
Okay. I'm a religious man after all.
Keep telling yourself that.
Okay, every day, every morning. 21.
21.
On the religion.
The energy which built up within your body and which affected this figure, like that's all the same and consistent. And what you get the feeling of once the energy hit it, it's almost like it hits something, and rather than being resisted, like you understand that there is a particular way like magic works when it's fizzles, when it's dispelled, when it's resisted, when it's countered. This is almost like that energy got absorbed, and you get this sort of feeling, almost this aura washes over you, and it's similar but not the same as the aura, the energy you feel when you cast spells.
I'll take my hand off the necklace. I'll lower my hand. Callan for?
You don't get any response from the figure.
How far away from it am I at this point?
About 10 feet or so.
Oh, that's it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you're very close. This is not a huge room.
Okay.
So you can even still see on the periphery, but all grayed out, some of your companions sleeping by. Like Carnelian, I think, is still on the table, sleeping on the table. Was the last thing?
With the animals.
Oh no, you were in the cuddle pile, of course, with Svieta and all the other animals.
It's like when you learn a new shout in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And everything's greyed out and darkened out except for the...
Yeah. So everything's still there, but it's almost like it's not there at the same time. Like, you feel that you could reach down and touch something, but you wouldn't be 100% sure that you would actually touch it.
What's the nearest object to me? Entertain me.
You got the table and chair just off to your left.
I'm going to attempt to... I'm going to sort of look at my hands and sort of look down at my body. Like, do I look like normal, or do I look...
You look grayed out as well when
I'm
you look
grayed
at yourself, yeah. Everything appears to be grayed out.
I'm going to try and just grab a chair and see if I can even just hold on to it.
You reach down and you grab the back of the chair next to you, and what are you just trying to hold on to it?
Just to grip it, yeah. Not picking it up, just gripping the handle.
You feel the physical sensation of gripping something. There's something solid there. But your hand feels kind of numb as well.
Have I experienced this sensation before?
The feeling is not too dissimilar when some of the times you've prayed to Kalemvor and you get the feeling that a presence is with you, but the feeling is more intense and it doesn't exactly feel the same.
I see. And upon remembering that, I will, still wary, but not feeling threatened, if you like. I will approach the figure maybe another 5 feet, and just, and again I'll repeat, Callan?
Still no response.
And it's facing away, 180 degrees.
Yep.
I mean, I would say just going through Horacio's thought process, based, and also because still he's a man of medicine, of science as well. Based on what he's seen and experienced, he's pretty convinced that this is Callan, but he's not 100% certain. But he really wants to know if it is. So he's going to actually start Because I can still see where I'm going, right? It's dark, but I'm not going to just trip on shit if I try to walk around.
No, you feel like you have all your faculties, yeah.
Okay, so I'll start walking around, still about 5 feet away from him, and just more softly, like as I walk past. Callan, is that you? And I'll try to walk around to the front of him.
You walk around until effectively you are on the other side of the fire to this individual. You can see that you're a pretty tall guy, right? 6 foot something?
Yeah, 6'1", dog.
6'1". And even at this distance, as you walk around, whatever this is must be very tall, like closer to 7 foot. Because he stands at least a good head above where you are now, and you can feel that. You get round to the very front, and you can see now the cloak appears to sort of cover the entire front of this person. You don't see any hands or even any sort of sleeves, and there is a hood which is completely darkened despite looking straight into the fire. You can't quite see into that hood.
Callan?
Now, finally, the figure does stir the last time you say Callan, and lifts his head to be looking at you. As it does, it's almost like there is a fog or a mist that would have been like something that was obstructing your view within the hood. Feels like it sort of starts to wash and fade away. And you can see the face of... You think it might be you're actually not sure if it's a man or woman, but it's a very beautiful looking face, right? A very handsome face. High cheekbones, strong jaw, like strong chin, and you don't really see much in the way of hair. The light seems to bounce and look up, and these eyes, these sort of almost sparkling eyes, look at you. No, I am not Callan. You, however, are a very interesting mortal, Horacio.
What does this mean? Are you of Callan? Are you another god? Who are you?
I am not a deity, no. But I am a part of Callan, like you are a part of Callan. I am one of his avatars, one of his angels, one of his ferrymen.
I don't know what to say. Are you here to judge me?
I am not here to judge you. Do not be afraid of me, servant of Callan.
Then what brings you here, fellow servant?
I am here to talk to you, Callan's representative in the Dale, the place where Callan cannot pierce. His eyes see you. He can give you his strength, but he cannot be here with you. He is shut out. He is denied access to the Dale, and their souls are denied the final rest of Callan's judgment.
And while I'm listening, I've just instinctively put my hand on the necklace without even knowing it, but I'm still watching and listening, but my hand's on the necklace without knowing, touching it.
I know you somewhat. A man of logic, science, using the church for your own gains. Funny that Callan has chosen you, but perhaps I see why.
You do? I still wonder at that question every night. I sense his presence, I feel his power, but despite me reaching out to him in the first, I still haven't fully determined why I was the one who was chosen.
Take heart, Horacio, for he has certainly chosen to share his power with you, or you would not be able to do the miraculous things that you do every day. The prayers that you say are answered in spells, the guidance that he has is given to you in your actions, your thought, and your convictions.
Well, it warms my heart greatly to hear those words from someone, and a fellow of Kelmvor. It means more than you could know.
Yes, I have watched you. At first, I did not know why you were chosen either. Kelmvor does not take sides in the battle of life and death. You should know this. And yet, you strive to use your magic and your boons to save people, purely to save people. This kind of imbalance is unusual in a follower of the great judge.
That's exactly my thoughts,
But, crucially, you have one difference that sets you apart from other servants of Kelmvor in this mortal realm. Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Even without power, without wounds, without magic, you've still applied yourself to save people. You're a mortal that represents Kelmvor's love of the drive of life. For Kelmvor isn't just purely neutral. He regards life and death equally, and mortals are the ultimate example of life striving to find its way in this plane of existence. So, you, who would strive to forego magic if you could, who try to heal people without magic, represent life's struggle, and represents part of Kelmvor's heart. That is why you were chosen. You do not wield magic for no reason, and I believe that if you could get away with not wielding it all, you would.
I'm truly grateful, and yeah, it all sort of just comes to a fore, and Horatio starts weeping, and he puts his head down because all the effort that he always puts in to try and save people, and then going to the extremes of trying to appeal to literally a god, to try and do it even more than he was. To hear this sort of recognition, it was just a bit overwhelming.
For a moment, you don't see the figure in front of you because you're overwhelmed with that emotion. And when you look up again, the figure's no longer in front of you, but now standing beside you. And you feel the hand reach out and touch your shoulder to give you comfort.
Does this mean that Kelmvor sees me favorably? That perhaps what I am doing is not in vain?
Even I cannot know all ends to the god's will, so I cannot say for certain. But what I would say is, you may represent the most pure expression of Kelmvor's will here in the Dale, and that will is needed, for you have a terrible task ahead of you. As I said, Kelmvor cannot be here. He cannot appear before you. He can only lend you his power. When you were starting, perhaps you did not believe it. The little power that you got was only a demonstration. But as you got here and made your convictions known, he has led you more, in hopes that you will be able to do what needs to be done.
Well, I am his most willing servant.
Good.
Just tell me what needs to be done, and it will be done.
It will not be easy, and you are already on a collision course with that destiny. But you need to understand the importance of what needs to be done and why. The course of action that you've taken has led you on a crash course with Oriel. Oriel is the reason why all other gods are locked out from Icewind Dale. And as I said before, the wheels of fate here, of life and death, are ground to a halt. Souls cannot properly leave this realm. They are stuck. Do you know what that means? They cannot rest. They cannot be delivered to their final judgment, and they cannot go to their final place of eternal rest. The souls are damned, accursed, and Kalemvor feels the pain of every missing soul. You need to break that cycle. Your need to defeat Uriel is more than just bringing Icewind Dale back into its summertime hopes. It is to free the dead so they may then be properly judged and grind the wheels of life and death forward once again.
This is the kind of fate that I can only hope for, so I will do everything in my power to make it happen.
Be warned, this is not easy. Dealing with another deity is difficult. The piece of advice I can give you is that there are a number of ways that this can be accomplished. Killing Uriel will not kill her for sure. She is a god. She will be back, possibly centuries from now. But it is a surefire way to get the wheels turning again. However, other methods could be employed. If she is unable to cast her nightly spell, her influence is broken. This can be done by a counter-magic. I believe you already know of Mythalos, weather-changing devices. Also, it may interest you. To cast the spell, Uriel flies high into the night sky on the back of a rock. These creatures are mortal. If you deal with them, she cannot easily cast her nightly spell, and even for a moment, that hold may break, and you may have completed your task.
I see. I thank you greatly for your information. Is there anything else that you may be able to share? Any advice, a boon, a blessing?
I cannot see the future like other deities or servants of those deities. I can only work within the confines of life and death. You already have the boons necessary from Kalemvor, but perhaps I shall part with a warning. Careful of your friend, Wodun. He is treading a dark path, one which corrupts the soul, one which could lose him forever, and one which could turn him on all of you. It is unfortunate. It is sad. These things were not choices within his own cognizance when they arrived early in his life, but they dominate his every action now, even if he does not know. You must do your best as a servant of Kalemvor to pull him from these dark depths, lest his soul also be lost.
I shall do my best. He's a good friend, and I don't want to see him end in such a horrible way. I want him to live his own life. So I will do what I can.
A small smile creeps across the handsome, beautiful face.
God damn, you're beautiful.
Damn it, you're beautiful. And he says, I am jealous. Servants such as us typically do not have friends, for we must remain neutral. So cherish that, mortal. It is something you have that I do not.
Praise Kalemvor.
And he bows his head, and the darkness that was there before, despite the light, starts filling the hood once again.
As the hood's filling, I'll go. What is your name?
You may call me Hadria. And the hood fills the entire way. And you start feeling, and the peripheral of your vision starts returning the colour to all the surroundings around you, until all the colour starts seeping back into the background, the night sky, the firelight flickering across different surfaces. And as they reach the figure in front of you, it dissipates and fades away. And you are alone once more.
I'll take my hand away from the amulet. Is it still dark?
It is still dark. I mean, it's still nighttime, but the fire, it's almost blinding now. because you just feel like you've been in this overly dark, like, setting, and now your eyes are adjusting to the sudden brightness of colour that's right in front of you.
Shield my eyes a bit. I'll actually head, because we can look out over the bay from here, can't we? Yeah, so I'm going to just go out onto an edge, nothing too precarious, and just look out over the bay. And just, I'll get down on my knees, and I'll put my hand on the amulet, and I will just spend, I don't know how long, but at least an hour or maybe more, just reflecting and praying. Reflecting on, what I've accomplished, what Horacio's accomplished, and, the effort that he's put in to get to this point, the sacrifices he's made, and what he's been willing to go through in order to, basically just increase his capacity of his what he wants to do, his life's calling, right? Saving lives. And just think about Callan for a bit. Take heart in that what he's been doing has been noticed, and he's very grateful for that, and it's sort of empowered him a bit as well, and given him some clarity, I think. So after this period of meditation, his mind will be super clear and very focused and determined, and he'll stand up and just walk back to his bedroll, have a quick look over at Wodun. What's Wodun doing? Still asleep?
Yeah, he's still asleep. He's but you notice he's kind of got like his thumb like kind of in his mouth a little bit, and he's got his index finger hooked over his nose to like hold his hand up to his face easily.
Oh, you're so cute.
And Horatio will sort of smirk at that and lie back down and do his best to get back to sleep and try and get at least a bit of sleep before the next day.
I don't think you guys set a watch because you had the everyone downstairs working, and the floating spectre around.
2 hours later, we're beset. Oh, that's right, I was on watch. Oh shit!
We're on an island. Surely we're okay. Yeah,
monsters don't come over to islands.
No, it's illegal.
It's illegal. No, I don't think you guys had set a watch because those guys would be awake downstairs anyway, if I remember correctly. The night passes. Anyone waking up at midnight will see the familiar lights of the aurora stretching across the sky. Although now if Horatio wakes up, you'll get this strange feeling looking at it, knowing that those lights represent Aureel and a spell that she is casting every night, physically out there and returning somewhere over the sea of moving ice. The lights play for hours, and eventually perpetual dawn arrives, and all of you can wake up with long rest marked on your sheet.
There was a concern. I'm grateful.
10 extra HP as well.
The morning glory.
Yes. Praise be.
Thanks, Big L.
So, who's the first to wake up?
Probably Svieta. I don't know why it sounds so dour.
I don't know why.
Guess I'll wake up.
Early in the morning then, Svieta, you crack one eye open in the cuddle pile.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, all of the animals are surrounding you, and there's a Carnelian buried deep somewhere in that pile as well, underneath the mud.
Nesting.
Just nesting.
He nested.
Just nesting. All that fur.
I would like to rifle through Wodun's pack for a fishing rod.
Sure.
Is it in your pack or?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take it.
Sure.
I'm not even gonna try and be stealthy about it. Just rummage through it. I'll leave like the contents out of the bag if it's in the way.
What's your passive perception? Just curious.
It's not amazing. It's like, I don't know, like 12 or something. Passive perception, 12.
12. Okay.
Maybe I should have rolled stealth.
Wodun doesn't appear to awaken as you rifle through his gear. You eventually find the fishing rod.
Yep. Whatever was on top of it, it's on the floor now.
Okay.
And I'm going to go downstairs, completely ignore anyone that's down there.
So you get downstairs and it's empty. You don't see anyone, but are you walking outside the front?
Yeah.
You open the front door and you can see the kobolds and Ronaldo putting, like, they've got a boat out there. It's, like, very close to the water. And you can see they're sort of working in and out it, obviously to make sure it's completely ready to go.
Good morning.
Ronaldo looks up. It looks like you can just sort of see from the boat just a head pops up. Oh, good morning, Svieta.
Oh, did you sleep at all last night?
Oh, we definitely did not. Otherwise, this never would have gotten done.
Well, I suppose you can sleep on the way back.
I hope so.
Well, I did ask a Narwhal to be here in the morning to help you guys.
No, well,
Yeah, I did tell you about it last night.
yeah, you did say that. I wasn't sure I believed you because it's such a strange thing to think that a narwhal is just going to help us out.
Yeah, his name's Sven. I don't know what the problem is.
It's not a problem. I'm very grateful. Look, I don't mean to sound rude. It was just a bit of a fantastic story. But, you know, I've seen you guys do some pretty crazy things. So, at this point, I'm willing to believe anything.
I feel like a dead lady under the lake, and also like the spectre that Wodun's been carrying around with him is way more fantastical than a narwhal in the ocean.
That part I'm not too concerned about. It's you talking to him like he was a friend of yours.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised too. A lot of the animals I talk to aren't my friends. But that's beside the point.
Wait, multiple animals? You
It's
talk to
fine.
other animals?
I don't want to talk about it.
What animals do you talk to?
So many. Polar bears and birds.
Wait, what are birds like?
Assholes. You don't want to talk to them.
I've always thought that those little birds are flying assholes.
Yeah.
Wow,
They will poop at face height.
at face height! I know! Wow, this has just opened up a whole new world of possibility. I'm gonna have to start interviewing animals.
You'll need to find another druid.
Oh, can I not learn how to speak to animals?
I don't know. Maybe.
Can you teach me to speak to animals? Is there a special, language course I can
I've
take?
got a lot on my plate at the moment. You'll have to ask someone else. I'm going to see if Sven is here, and then we're going to go and get some food for dinner. Breakfast. What's the time?
It is. He
Maybe
looks
you
up.
shouldn't have been the first one up. You needed a bit more sleep.
Yes, you did mention. I was like, do you have to catch the narwhal? But I guess if you're getting other things, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Look, here's a rope.
Yes,
Produce a rope. Just assume I've taken my pack with me.
as all players do.
Yes, always, except for Wodun. And I'm gonna just dunk my head under the water to see if the narwhal is anywhere in proximity.
Yep. Okay. So I'm guessing you spend 10 minutes to cast the Speak with Animals.
Yes, definitely before I dunk my head in the water. But then I'll do that. So I guess if Ronaldo wants to watch that, but it doesn't look like anything. She just sits cross-legged on the ground.
Like a couple minutes into you sitting cross-legged on the ground, he realizes you're doing some sort of magic ceremony, and he's just like, "Oh!" He pulls out the little notepad and pencil and starts writing in it.
Okay. There's nothing really fancy to it. She's done it so many times, she doesn't really think of it, but she does look over to Ronaldo and shh! Puts a finger up to her lips.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
And then I won't cast water breathing, but do you want me to make the con save to make sure I don't go into shock or something?
Nah.
Okay.
You cast Speak with Animals, and what do you say to try and get Sven's attention?
Sven!
Why do you talk like that?
It doesn't sound like much, but it travels about 3 kilometers.
Yeah. Well, because you've got the animal thing, so it's like you're imitating a whale. It's this whale song that just goes out.
Travels fast underwater.
Exactly. After you call out a couple of times, and after a couple minutes, you can see the shadow in the distance of Sven.
Oh, thank Christ.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you, Svieta.
Yeah.
Is it time?
Indeed.
Oh, very good.
I don't want to draw out this voice.
You can do it. You can talk normally.
It's overstayed its welcome, but assuming I'm still talking in that fashion, I want to instruct Sven to come breach the surface closer to where the kobolds and Ronaldo are, and we'll fashion a makeshift harness around his face and tooth.
Ooh, it appears you don't want to roleplay this out. So, Sven does breach, much to the surprise of all the kobolds around and the visible excitement of Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, this is Sven.
Oh, hey! And he just hears... I didn't catch that. What'd he say?
What's up?
Oh, tell him shit's cool, yo.
Yeah, I will let him know.
Great.
We'll just put the harness around him and he'll take you back to the docks.
Okay, alright. Hey guys, anyone know how to make a harness? And then it just goes back to the kobolds.
Oh. I guess I'll make one then.
So between all of you, you're able to make a pretty solid harness for Sven. And eventually you get it all tied to him, and he uses his immense strength to drag the boat off of the rocks and onto the water. All of the kobolds and Ronaldo scamper on just before they leave the rocks, and you can see they're doing several things inside, making sure all their patchwork and all that job is okay. And then eventually Ronaldo pops out at the back and he waves to you.
Sven will wave as well, like with enthusiasm. Like she believes in him. Like she just assumed he knew how to do all these survival things. Like he'll be fine. Like just this unearned optimism in this like little fellow. And she'll just call out to him, "Where are you going after this?"
Oh, I'm gonna follow one of my many leads. There are some strange stones out at Duggan's Hall, and there's this house. And his voice starts fading further and further away as he gets out of range of your voice.
I'm not going to Duggan's Hall. She'll just like turn around. And she'll pull out the rod that she took back from Wodun and just cast it off and put her feet in the water and just try and fish for something.
And Svieta starts to fish the morning away as the little spot of the boat gets further and further away. While that's happening, the rest of you getting up? Who's getting up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Carnelian, you wake up in the middle of the cuddle pile.
Fully submerged, you cannot breathe.
Svieta is already gone, although this is not unusual because she seems to wake up almost earlier than everyone, just about.
Maybe it's a cat thing. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. That'll mean she'd sleep more.
At the same time, Wodun, you wake up as well.
Wodun sees all his stuff on the floor and like sort of whips his head around quickly, like looking around the room. Kind of decides he must have kicked it over in his sleep. Starts packing up.
Carnelian also does like the look around, but like a bit slower. Oh, good, it's gone.
Oh.
And so you're packing all your stuff into your bag.
Yep, putting all my stuff away. Then I'll head downstairs to see what everyone's doing.
When you head downstairs, you can see the door is open, and if you step out the door, you can see Svieta with a fishing rod.
Oh yeah, I should close the door.
He steps out the door and like does a big stretch on the like door step, and then heads towards Svieta.
Is Wodun wearing clothes?
Yeah.
That is
It's
not
a
a
valid
given.
question.
It is a valid question, but it's cold. Yeah, he was wearing clothes. This time.
I was going to say, that's not a given in any situation involving Wodun.
Good morning.
Morning, Svieta. What? Oh, is that my rod?
Yes, I hope you don't mind. Never use it, so I just...
No, of course. You did make it after all.
Yeah, you don't seem to appreciate it.
Hey, there hasn't been much opportunity for fishing until now.
Well,
You beat me to it.
Do you want to take over?
No, you look... You look like you're doing well. You got your feet in the water, though. Isn't it cold?
It's a little bit refreshing, but it's fine. If you want to join, it'll wake
All
you
right.
up.
Okay, I'll hang out. Oh, shit! No, that's. I'm okay next to the water, thank you.
I suppose my legs are furrier than yours, so a bit insulated.
Yes, I shave. I mean, they're naturally a bit hairless.
So I noticed that your ghosty friend isn't hovering around the tower in the tower.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't like the daytime. Maybe.
Or did you sleep him away?
Maybe. Yeah. I think I feel like maybe he's like a till dawn kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, sneak out in the morning, if you know what I mean.
I remember those. I mean, so so I'm just going to catch some breakfast. Do you feel ready for the day? Ready to keep traveling underwater?
I feel I'm always ready for the day, but I'm just gonna head over here a little bit and do some stretching if you don't mind. But let me know if you catch anything, or if you need a hand, or you need anything at all. I'll just be over here.
Oh, I wouldn't want to interrupt your yoga sessions or Pilates.
It's a good refresh for the mind and the body.
Well, I will be over here and I won't interrupt unless I need you.
Okay, thanks. Just call out.
Okay.
As I said, I'm right here. Right over there. See that? Probably that spot over there. See?
Yep.
You see it? Right there.
Right over there?
I'll call out when I get there and you can see where I end up.
Okay, well, I'll watch you go.
Okay.
Turn around.
It's me walking in the snow.
Not bad.
Right there?
Here. Over
Okay.
here.
Oh, right over there.
Just start stretching.
Svieta will eventually turn away.
For a second, I thought Wodun was going to describe how he just gets naked.
Just drops his dax.
Just drops his dax there.
No, I can't imagine it's very warm on this island in the middle of like the Arctic Sea.
Listen, the entire place has been a shit show of blizzards and snow.
But like the sea breeze and
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
wind chill would be insane. And I'm all about realism, so
Of course, yes. Especially that alien laser pistol you're packing at your side.
hey, that's no laser pistol. It's upstairs in my pack.
While that's going on, Carnelian, you do wake, check your surroundings for an accursed spectre and find none. Horatio's still asleep at the moment.
Oh, well, I guess we'll probably wake the animals first by getting up, but make sure Horatio wakes up because we don't want to keep.
Just check his pulse.
Don't want to. Is he like sleeping any different than usual?
He looks pretty peaceful. He looks pretty comfortable. Just
Okay.
maybe one arm sort of behind the head turned slightly to one side, but just, you know, classic, just relaxed.
Use like prestidigitation to like create this like chill over the back of his neck so he wakes up.
Oh. He's like rubs his neck and sits up.
So, sorry, I didn't want to. I didn't want to like. I wanted to wake you up. We don't want to miss our whale friend.
Right, well, thank you, it worked. Just takes a big sigh and gets to his feet. And he's like, he looks refreshed. He looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Pretty much off the bat, straight away. It's looking pretty good. Quickly rolls up his pack and gets all his stuff ready and heads down. Well, we best not keep them waiting. Is everyone ready, or what's the go?
It's actually an excellent question. Svieta was already awake by the time I woke up, and Wodun woke up like not too long ago. We should probably also check on Valine, make sure she's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, she exists.
Told you I was ignoring everyone downstairs.
She's like a flight of stairs below us or something.
Yeah, in another room, I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, well. Well, is everyone is stuff still upstairs? Like we're not ready to go, right? From
I mean-
Horatio's perspective.
I think unless you guys effectively haven't packed up camp yet, all your stuff is mostly still upstairs, right?
I'm just going to say I took down my mat, but that's about it. Left the pack upstairs.
Yeah. So Wodun's stuff is still there.
Yeah.
I took everything except for my bedroll.
Yeah. So Smith's bedroll's there, but not the rest of her stuff.
Okay, so yeah.
What is... I was going to say, what is Valine, like, how did she set up? Because she was inside, but downstairs, like, she wouldn't have set up her tent, surely.
No. So you know that there was a room underneath this floor on the inner side of the lighthouse.
Oh, yeah.
And she obviously sat up there and closed the door, and you haven't heard from her all night.
Go knock.
Okay. You head downstairs and you knock. No answer.
Bitch.
What do you think, Carnelian? Because, by the way, I'm with you.
I don't know.
Is the door
Hi there.
locked or is it just closed? I imagine the lock probably doesn't function particularly well.
Oh, how do you check that?
By pushing on the door.
You set off the room.
Yeah, so you open the door, and it swings inwards. The room is dark. You can see... You can't... Well, you've got dark vision. You can see, like, there is some personal items about the place. A little, like, impromptu chair made out of a suitcase. A book that's lying on a mat. And a bedroll with a figure in it.
Oh, wait, she's still asleep.
Oh, I'll just look over you and see the same thing. You just see this, like, two heads. Same, like, lined up, but one's about a foot or two higher than the other, just peeking.
Please cast daylight on her.
Wake up!
Is light coming through? Like, is any sort of, like, illumination coming through the...
Yeah, I mean, like, there is a little bit of light, like, morning perpetual light coming through a window opposite that looks like... it looks like she's taken some effort to try and, like, stuff it with a blanket, because it was actually a burst-out window.
Hey, Carnelian,
Yeah.
stand back, watch this. And then I'll partially close the door and I'll roll the drift globe in there. You ready for this? And then I'll shut the door with the drift globe in there. And I'll just...
That is so
and I will cry out the command word, which is Illuminatus.
This bright flash frames the door in front of you, and you hear this, "Ah! I'm up! I'm up! I'm up! Oh, that is a mean prank! Horatio!"
Well, it's time to go. Illuminatus off.
Mischief managed.
Does it turn off?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure if it would.
The door opens slightly, and a drift cloud comes sailing out towards your head.
I'll put my head out into the palm.
All right, I'll be out.
Sorry, I didn't know it
Jeez.
was, sorry. I didn't know it was so bright. I'm sorry, but it worked.
You didn't know a daylight spell would be so bright.
Can't argue with results. It'll shut the door.
Haven't you cast one of those spells before?
Underwater. It's a bit of a different
Underwater.
effect, yeah.
I guess
the drift globe. I mean, you know.
After 20 minutes or so, if you guys have returned back upstairs, eventually a very cranky-looking Valine with a little thermos that she just takes little sips from, and she just gives you a grumbling look as she has a lot of her stuff. Svieta, roll a survival check.
I'm gonna take one of those. Can't you do that?
Oh. No, I can't.
Survival?
Yeah.
23.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's huge.
I got +7.
Boom.
Did I do my maths right? Yes.
Yeah.
You catch
16 fish.
no,
And a coal.
14.
Fish.
Yes.
14.
You are very successful in catching a lot of fish for everyone. Hey, Andy, roll a performance check.
6. Performance... 10.
The Pilates session is okay. The Tai Chi could use a bit of work. You feel your chakra is a little bit misaligned.
The shock was misaligned again.
What?
Nothing.
Gotta stretch your tendon a little more.
I did notice your downwards dog cliff was a bit bad.
Wow. I mean, you don't even do yoga and you saw that, so that must have been horrendous to watch. I'm sorry.
Well, I saw Dog Cliff do a similar stretch, and it wasn't like his at all. I assume that's what you were doing.
Yes, yeah. That's what I was doing.
You need your butt a bit further up in the sky.
Will you teach me?
Right now?
No, just anytime.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just that one move, though.
Just the one move, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay. Maybe somewhere a bit warmer, hopefully.
I'll cast a bonfire around us and we can sweat it out.
Hot yoga. Bikram yoga.
Bikram?
I think that's what it's called.
I believe you.
Probably shouldn't, but
You said you would
How did
stop
you-
lying.
how did your fishing go?
I caught 14.
Holy shit. I guess I know what we're eating for the next 2 weeks.
Or just this morning. I don't know how big they are.
How big are they?
God, tell me.
They're a pretty good size.
Decent size.
Nice.
About yay.
Yay big.
Oh, yeah?
I think we'll get a few days to and from where we're going.
Oh, yeah. How are we getting there?
I assume.
Oh, yeah, the whale.
I'm good.
That massive fucking whale. I forgot about that.
He should be, or she should be coming soon. But if you wouldn't mind helping me, take these upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And eat them.
Hold his arms out in like a basket-esque shape.
You should just grab a whole bunch, and some will slip out of her grasp and just pile them onto you, or haphazard goes.
Some of them land on my feet. Oh.
Maybe about 6.
Alright, I'll head inside.
I need a bag. No, it'll be fine. You should just pick up the other ones, put one in her mouth, and take the rest.
Luckily, they are not knuckle-headed trout.
All of them are knuckleheaded trout.
Somehow, despite
Somehow.
fishing in a saltwater.
Thank God.
So, after collecting all of your bountiful fish, you head upstairs to find Louine, Horacio, and Carnelian all sort of tending to the camp, effectively. You make a glorious breakfast of fresh fish and get ready for your day.
Wodun,
Yes?
a moment, if I may.
Of course.
Would you join me downstairs?
Did
Quickly?
Svieta tell you about my yoga session? Is that why?
What?
Nothing.
No.
Oh, nothing. Let's go. Yes.
We'll be back briefly. No. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it really that bad?
It was pretty average,
Oh,
which is unusual for
that is
Wodun.
unusual for him.
Don't talk about it, though.
All right. So, Wodun, I had an experience last night. How do you feel today?
What was your experience? I feel my chakras are out, obviously, but I feel fine.
Well, I met an avatar of Callan, one of his angels, or ferryman, I suppose. I just want you to know that I see you as a good friend, and I don't want Spencer to sour that relationship. And I want you to know that I'm looking out for you, and if you ever have any troubles or if you ever have doubts or uncertainties, I want you to consider me a trusted friend and a confidant.
Wodun puts his hand on your shoulder. That's really nice of you to say, Horatio. I regard you as a very close friend as well. We've been through a lot together in a short amount of time, and I think that's how strong friendships are formed.
It heartens me to hear that, Wodun. That's all I really had to say. Shall we head back up?
Yeah, I actually, now that I think about it, I kind of had a weird dream last night. I don't know if it's related to, I don't know, anything that, like Kellenvor being there, or I don't know, some sort of residual overflowing magic. I'm not sure, but I had a dream about like this. It was an army of, I guess, sort of goblins or something, like beasts, and they were riding even more horrible beasts and riding the lands and killing everyone in their path. And everywhere, this one sort of, I guess he was the leader. Everywhere he went, sort of death followed him, and after that undeath, he like the armies of his victims would rise from the grave, I guess, and march on kingdoms, and he was sort of cleansing the lands. It was pretty graphic and pretty horrible.
That's some dream. Did it remind you of anything? Is this a past event or something that you're familiar with?
I no idea. I just was wondering, maybe it had something to do with, I don't know. So you saw so they appeared, the angel or the ferryman appeared to you in person?
Yes, I was here, but my vision was obscured. It was focused on the angel itself. This dream of yours, did the dead, you say, they rose to fight again, is that right?
Yeah, he, I don't know, it was kind of in the dream I didn't see them rising. It was kind of just implied that it was happening. Like he would march through the lands, and then his army would double in size, essentially, from the victims slaughtered.
I see. Well, maybe there is some parallel. You see, the souls in the Dale, because of Oriel's influence, they're unable to be judged by Kellenvor, so they're essentially trapped in limbo currently. So that's why it's doubly important that we end this winter with all haste, so that these souls can be freed and judged fairly. I just wonder if this dream of yours perhaps alludes to these trapped souls growing in number.
Yeah, there's got to be some, like, it seems to be too much of a coincidence that these happen on the same night.
Indeed.
Maybe, do you feel like if you saw this angel again, whether you could, I don't know, like, do you think I would be able to see it? Or would I have to be a follower of Kellenvor?
Well, I don't know the answer, but put it this way. I've been following Kellenvor for not a very long time, and devoutly even less so. However, I've only encountered this is the first time, and I didn't even know that it was Kellenvor until I got really close to it. It was ignoring me, but so I think maybe in time, but I think it's something that it comes to you rather than you seeking it.
Maybe if I can't see him, or I can't be involved next time, perhaps you can maybe glean some information about it, or see if there's any coincidences or ties there.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad we had this chat. I feel like this is very important.
I too. I think this is very important, and I think world changing in a way. So I think it's fantastic that we're doing this thing and that we're together, and just feeling really good about it now. It's feeling a bit more clear in my head.
Yeah, let's get out of here and kill this ice woman, this evil ice god.
Yes. And actually, on that note, we'll go upstairs first, and I'll tell you. But this Hadriel was the name of this angel, and it gave me a few possibilities for potentially sort of defeating Oriel, but at the very least, advice on removing the influence of the spell. But come, and we'll tell the group upstairs.
Horacio, I dated a girl named Adriel once. Do you think there's something there? Do you think maybe because the names sound familiar? Do you think? I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Everything's tied to me now. I'm trying to like weave a mind maze. You know, my brain is just insane. It works. The ways that it works, I don't understand. It's just crazy.
Horacio will just look at you and smile and pat you firmly on the shoulder. And then sort of as he's patting you, he'll do like that motion where he sort of turns you and puts his hand around your shoulder and we'll both walk upstairs.
Under his breath, you kind of hear, maybe it was Gabriel. Well, now, do you want to tell the guys what you just told me about Ariel? I think they might find it important as well.
Oh, yes.
So you head upstairs, yes, and you find gathered around the remnants of the brazier, everyone is sort of packing up camp. You can see Valine looking still somewhat grumpy, taking swigs from a flask of something that looks like some sort of hot brown liquid. Everyone looks like they're packing up, ready to go. And you address them.
Bit of background. Last night I was approached and I had an experience with an avatar of Cannonball. And I just wanted to say that I'm feeling very focused and determined on our task. And I'm not gonna...
No, that's fair.
But you guys get up to speed, and including the 3 methods for removing the influence. So one of them was killing Oriel, one was using a weather-changing device to block her spell, and the other one was to kill the rock, or rocks, that she flies, to perform an honorary ritual. And, we may know some of this, but Horacio just repeat it.
Do we know what a rock is?
She flies on the boulder.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Can you smell?
Nature check.
Yep, go for it.
Oh, there we go. It's back in action.
Oh no.
Yep. Can someone please tell me what a rock is? I've been thinking about it all night.
I got an 18.
I must have hit my head.
That is 6.
2.
Where's bum? I got a 2.
What is it?
Tell us.
Sidebar, guys. I had a really spooky dream last night, and it might be related to Horacio's thing
What was it about?
about a warlord in a, decimating kingdoms and riding the fields and raising the dead.
That doesn't sound anything like Horacio's dream.
Yeah, it sounded a lot more linked downstairs, but now that I think about it, maybe it isn't.
I'm glad you have really cool sounding dreams, though.
Doesn't sound cool at all.
It's
It
pretty
does, all
horrible.
that destruction. It sounds pretty cool.
Wow. I mean,
Why were you moving past that for a second? Why were you dreaming about so much death and resurrection?
I don't know. Just thought I'd mention it. It was very vivid.
Or was it orcs or goblins? Or
I think like goblins or hobgoblins, like definitely not humans. And I don't think they were orcs.
were we there?
I don't think I was there. I was kind of just a spectator. Like I was just sort of watching this happen.
Oh. Do you reckon it was a vision of something that has happened or will happen?
It could be. It felt that vivid that it could be maybe a past event. I don't know.
It's a dream.
Well, something to consider on the... I was going to say on the road, but on the whale.
Yeah.
In the whale bubble.
Ungajuk, where you at?
So, just while you guys are playing that
Sorry.
out. Rocks. So you said you rolled an 18.
Correct.
Not enough.
Damn.
It was
All you
Skeen's
know
rock.
are that... Sorry?
It was Skeen's rock.
That's right. Do you want to roll me a Arcana check?
16.
All you know are that rocks are giant, like as in absolutely massive birds that are rumored to be descended from birds made from giants back in the ancient world of Feyre. They are... The only thing you know about them is their size is immense.
So it's like... It is a, like... So when I say a big bird, you're gonna like imagine like those vultures from like a day ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like big, like Angajuk is big.
But is that the perception thing because you are so small?
No.
That's a big bird.
That's a good
That's
point.
a huge bird.
Like dragon-sized bird?
Well, like the
I
shardman
mean, dragons come in like bigger than the shardman dragon.
Oh my
That's wow.
Dragons come in lots of different shapes and sizes, so like big like the big dragons.
Of course, look at you.
We'll have to take that one down as well.
Stop making fun of my height.
I just.
I have you in my pocket.
Being a funny.
So, yeah, and not to get too deep into it because you didn't roll particularly quite well enough, but it says here that the rocks rival the size of ancient dragons.
Oh my god, this is huge.
So they're pretty big.
That's a big bird.
How have we not seen it? Don't answer that. I don't want to know.
I don't know.
It's always night.
Okay, so you guys are discussing what you need to do. I assume at some point you gather all your belongings and you head outside.
Yep.
Does anyone remember how to call Angajuk?
Angajuk just said he'd turn up.
Oh.
Should we have brought the bell? I have a bell, but not the bell.
The bell was kind of like fastened to the pier.
As you are discussing this, a giant mass starts to erupt from the water as the bubble and the boat rise, and Angajak's mighty head breaches the water of the next to the island in front of you. It says, "Talking shit like I wouldn't hear. Next week on Reflex Saves."
Fucking a while.
This was not what I expected.
Can I ask, is that a legitimate backstory thing for Wodun?
Sure.
It is now.
Because I was like, I'm sure I chose a name that was not someone else is using.
No,
said
that's a different.
many.
Yeah, a different person.
Okay.
God, I'm like 30-something years old. I'm 32 years old or something.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you
He's
go.
fucked.
Look, have you seen Wodun? He fucks.
Pretty much.
This guy fucks.
Well, hey there, fellow nerds and ne'er-do-wells. My name's AJ, and let me introduce you to the Adventurers Anonymous podcast, the home of improvised fantasy, fuck nuggetry. Come join us week by week as 6 dangerously codependent dipshits sip cocktails, play Dungeons and Dragons, and seek a glorious death. Now, all adventures need a cast, and ours is no exception. Our motley crew of abject depravity includes a failed crocoborn sorcerer turned children's party entertainer, a dirty old human priest on the brink of the afterlife, a disgraced half-orc police officer trying to turn his life around, a sassy blue tiefling who can talk to animals, and a retired gnome soldier suffering from PTSD. Warning! The Adventurers Anonymous podcast is mostly improvised and entirely inappropriate. Listener discretion is advised. The views expressed in this podcast may or may not affect you or anyone at any time. If in doubt, do not operate heavy machinery and avoid sex with animals where possible. Unauthorized copying, public performance, broadcasting, hiring, or rental of this podcast is highly likely and in most cases encouraged. If in doubt, always consult your local rabbi. So, if you like your plotline thin and crispy and your language to be saltier than a sailor's beard, welcome aboard. A new episode every Friday.